Hi. Hi friends, I'm Dr. Sanjay Singh from Mumbai. I'm an arthroscopy surgeon practicing in Mumbai. So I like to thank Indian Arthroscopy Society for giving me this opportunity. So I have a small technique video where the problems we face normally with an adjustable loop while doing ACLs has been sort of addressed, and I use this every time I perform an ACL reconstruction. So here's the video technique for the same. So the main basis of this technique is we do a control flipping of the adjustable loop. We all know that the adjustable loop usually of some companies comes with a fixed length of 50 to 60 mm. So the first step in this technique is to increase the length of the loop to around at least 90 or 100 mm, so that when we try to pass the loop from the femoral tunnel, the graft does not engage from the tibial end. Because once the graft engages from the tibial end, then we have to give more force and more strength, and that causes the button to come out of the fascia lata and out many times out of the skin. So the elongated loop easily allows us to pass it through the tunnel, and we can flip it under vision. So this is the picture of the prepared graft which we are seeing along with the elongated loop. Now the next step is marking on the loop. Here we have to note, we have to mark the loop, the tunnel length from the inferior portion of the button, because we are pulling the button from the pulling suture. So the inferior, from the inferior end, we mark the total tunnel length, and that marking would signify that the button has crossed the cortex and is about to get flipped. So this marking has to be accurate and it has to be perfect almost all the times. So once the marking is done, then we proceed with our tunnel creation. And this is again for just for explanation. One more step required is preferably a button which has another hole from which we pass another suture, so that we can perform the toggling maneuver which we can easily do in a closed loop device. So now most of the buttons of all companies come with an extra hole from which we can, if the suture is not preloaded, we can pass another suture and we can proceed as normally we do a normal closed loop device. So now we have the reduction loop, we have a preloaded suture, and we have an additional suture for toggling and the adjustable graft cradle as seen here. Now proceeding with the video ahead. I usually prefer to give a small stab incision because of the extra sutures which we have passed through the button. Sometimes it makes it difficult to bring out all the sutures together. So a stab incision is given from the pinpoint, and now we are seeing the femoral tunnel from the inside while passing the threads. Now because the loop is lengthened with minimal force, we can easily, by rolling it over a big artery forceps or just by tonguing with a hand, we can bring the button easily around the cortex. And once just the marking reaches near the cortex, the inner cortex, we can see the button is flipped, and from outer side we can again check for the toggling for the same. So this becomes a two-step confirmation. One is from inside the tunnel, and from the outer end we again check with the toggling as we do a normal closed loop. One should remember, while doing this maneuver, the distal end of the graft should be always in tension, otherwise it might bring the endo button out of the fascia lata and out of the skin. So we can see while performing the toggling maneuver, the loops are moving. Now we start reducing the graft. So one more step to be followed while doing adjustable loop is, while reducing the graft, there has to be counter tension from the tibial end. Otherwise, there will be slack left in the loop, and later on, while cycling or after fixation from the tibial end, the graft might become loose again. So if the counter tension is not there from the tibial end, the loop tends to reduce unequally, and then that leads to slackness in the loop. Here we see the graft passage. My practice usually is to put initially the graft 5 mm short of the tunnel drill, so later on I can retension the graft after cycling. So basically I perform two type cycling. Once is before fixing the tibia, and again after fixing the tibial end I perform cycling again, so any slack which is left can be reduced in full extension of the knee. So that is the beauty of a adjustable loop device, that we can tension twice and we can recycle it and retension it as and when required, not like a fixed loop device that once done is done. This is a post-op exit picture. We can see the button nicely sitting on the Cortex. So this video was basically to show, make a reproducible and simple technique for adjustable device and overcome all of its problems, which are usually there, that it comes out of the lateral side of the thigh and becomes difficult. So advantages of the adjustable loop devices: there is less inventory. We have to keep only one button. More graft we can keep in the femoral tunnel. So after the cycling also, if you feel there is loose and the tunnel is more, we can adjust whatever graft is there. And as I said, ability to later tighten, retighten the graft, and simpler calculations. We have to just keep one loop and we have to measure the tunnel, and that's it. We don't have to subdivide in various types of loop or something like that. Keep 20, 30, 35. That is not there. Thank you for watching the video.